Hi, welcome to the third part of funds flow statement. Five minutes, we will explain this question first and then go to the other topics. So what is in this question? Equity capital 3 lakhs, closing 4 lakhs. See whether this increase is due to an exchange transaction. Here there is no additional information. So it is a cross transaction and taken directly to the funds flow statement. Otherwise, equity capital is a net worth item, and net worth is always non-current item. A transaction between a non-current item and a current item is termed as cross transaction. These cross transactions will be taken to the funds flow statement directly. And transactions within the current account section does not affect the working capital. And this distinction you have to understand first. That is why these current items are taken directly to the schedule of changes in working capital, and the net increase or decrease is calculated. While doing so, special care should be given to proposed dividend and provision for taxation. What is the entry for proposed dividend? Proposed dividend is considered at the time of finalization of accounts. While preparing profit and loss appropriation account, it will be debited. So entry is profit and loss appropriation account debtor. Account debtor. Account debtor to proposed dividend account. This proposed dividend, once it is proposed, the shareholders will pass a resolution in the annual general meeting approving the rate of dividend declared by the board of directors, and that is as per the rules framed under payment of dividend rules, declaration and payment of dividend rules. Higher class students definitely check out that point. You can expect some questions on declaration and payment of dividends. And once the dividend is declared, a dividend bank account will be opened, and sufficient amount will be transferred to the dividend bank account. And all the proposed dividends should be, once approved, will be paid out of dividend bank account. Dividend bank account cannot be touched. Whatever the balance left in the dividend bank account, as per the rules, any unclaimed portion is there, that will be treated separately. So here journal entry is P&L appropriation account debtor to proposed dividend account. Since it is payable within a short period, this proposed dividend may be treated as a current liability. This is a current liability. And profit and loss appropriation account is a non-current account. Non-current account. So one aspect is a non-current account and other aspect is a current item. It is a cross transaction. So in that assumption, we can take it to where funds flow statement. And this proposed dividend will be added back to the profit, and this proposed dividend in the beginning of the period assumed to has paid during the year. In both the cases, the net difference will be 8,000 will come here in this question. 42,000 will be shown as an application, correct? And this 50,000 will be added back to the profit. P&L account balance as per balance sheet we are taking. It is a below the line item. So this is the appropriation account balance. So this proposed dividend at the end of the year should be debited to the adjusted P&L account. When an item debited to the adjusted P&L account, it increases funds from operation. Correct? So funds from operation is increased by 50,000. So source increased by 50,000, application increased by 42,000. What is the net difference? 8,000. Here what is the net difference? 8,000. So in that respect, this item can be taken as a non-current item. On the basis of payment, this proposed dividend, once approved, should be payable within the stipulated period. So it is a current liability also. Current item also, we can treat like that. If it is treated as a current liability, then taken to the schedule of changes in working capital, over. Since it is a cross transaction, it can be treated as a non-current item also. And this dividend paid, interim dividend paid, should not be confused with a proposed dividend account. Both are different accounts. Interim dividend paid, how the interim dividend is treated in financial accounts? Interim dividend normally appearing as a balance in the trial balance. It has only one effect. It is debited to the profit and loss appropriation account below the line. So while doing funds flow statement, interim dividend paid should be treated separately, should not be confused with the proposed dividend. Interim dividend 20,000 paid should be added to the funds from operation, that is debited in the adjusted P&L account and shown as an application. So source is increased by 20,000 and application is also increased by 20,000, payment of interim dividend. So here in this problem, we have taken proposed dividend as a non-current. And this assumption should be given in the answer. Proposed dividend is treated as non-current. And provision for taxation also treated as non-current. It should be treated as non-current in this question. Income tax paid during the year or provision made during the year. Any one item will be given in the question. But in the case of income tax provision, the difference in the opening provision can be carried forward. But that carry forward cannot be possible in proposed dividend. If in 2000, directors proposed a dividend of 40,000 and the shareholders cannot increase the rate of dividend, so they can reduce the rate of dividend. They have the power to reduce the rate of dividend. If they do so and they reduced it to 40,000 rupees, in that case, this 2,000 cannot be carried forward. Okay, proposed dividend, directors proposed a dividend of 42,000 in the previous year and only 40,000 is approved by shareholders. The remaining 2,000 cannot be carried forward, like a provision for taxation. Okay, you got it? That is the treatment of proposed dividend in funds flow statement. The dividend appearing in as an additional information should not be treated as same that of proposed dividend. In lack of information, proposed dividend always assumed to has paid during the year, the opening proposed dividend. The closing proposed dividend is debited to adjusted P&L account, if it is treated as non-current. If it is treated as current, it should be taken directly to the schedule of changes in working capital. Finish, over. In this case, in both cases, only 8,000 will be net difference in working capital. See, source increased by 50,000, closing provision, and application assumed it has paid. What is the net difference in fund flow statement? 8,000 rupees. Here also 8,000 rupees. But the assumption given you have to mention in the answer. Very important. If a non-current item, this proposed dividend or a provision for taxation treated as a non-current item, the assumption should be given in the answer always. Very important. So we will go to the next problem. Next text. What is in this? Equity capital. 1,50,000, 2,50,000. So during the year, equity capital has been issued. 1 lakh rupees. See whether it is an exchange transaction. If it is not an exchange transaction, it will be taken directly to the funds flow statement. Even if an exchange transaction, it will be shown as a source as well as an application in the funds flow statement. Because exchange transactions does not increase or decrease working capital. So both as a source as well as an application it appears. But here it is a cross transaction. Entry is bank debtor to share capital account. Share capital is a non-current item and bank account is a current asset. So bank is debited, it increases working capital. Correct? Okay, so issue of share capital, see whether any additional information is there. Purchase of fixed asset or purchase of another company, like that. Nothing is there. So it can be taken to the funds flow statement as a source. %7 preference capital. 1,50,000, 1 lakh. Okay. So preference capital has been redeemed. See whether it is in exchange of debentures or etc. Then it will become an exchange transaction. This 50,000 will be shown as a source as well as an application. Here nothing is mentioned regarding redemption. So assumed that it has been redeemed through bank. So an application is there. Application is there. 50,000 rupees. General reserve, non-current. Increase in general reserve. 10,000 rupees is transferred during the year. That is the assumption. So it will be debited to adjusted P&L account. Profit and loss account is there. Opening by opening balance. Closing to closing balance. Transfer to reserve 10,000 should be debited in the adjusted P&L account. Then sundry creditors, current liability. Bills payable, current liability. Provision for taxation may be treated as both current as well as non-current. In both cases, only 4,000 will be the difference. 28,000, 32,000. Okay. So see whether any information is there in the question. Interim dividend, dividend received, planned, nothing is mentioned. So you can treat this as a either non-current or a current. The point should be mentioned in your answer. Provision for taxation is treated as current or a non-current. Proposed dividend. Always the assumption is that what is the entry for proposed dividend? Profit and loss. Profit and loss appropriation account debtor to proposed dividend. Profit and loss account or profit and loss appropriation account is always non-current account. It is a part of net worth, non-current. Non-current. Proposed dividend, in this account we can give two assumptions. One assumption is that it is a current liability. Why it is treated as a current liability? It should be payable within a short period as per the payment or dividend rules. So if that assumption is followed, it is a current liability. Another assumption is that it forms a part of net worth, still it is paid. Proposed dividend is a part of net worth. So it is a part of net worth. Net worth is a non-current. So in this respect, both the aspects are non-current, then cannot be shown in the schedule. So both the assumptions we can give. Then capital reserve, non-current. Bills payable, current liability. Provision for taxation, we can treat it as current as well as non-current. Proposed dividend, we can treat it as current as well as non-current. In either case, only here 6,000 will be the difference. And this will be shown as an application, 27,000. So application side increased by 27,000. And this proposed dividend showing in the closing balance sheet will be added back to the funds from operation or debited in the profit and loss adjustment account. 33,000. So source is increased by 33 rupees. Reduced by 27. 6,000 is the difference. Here also 6,000 is the difference. Provision for taxation, 4,000 will be the net difference. If it is treated as non-current, then this opening provision has assumed it as paid in full during the year, 28,000 application. And this provision made during the year should be added to the adjusted P&L account. So 32,000 source is increased. Either case, here 4,000 is the difference in the funds flow statement. Here also, if it is treated as current liability, what is the difference? 4,000. Working capital is reduced by 4,000. The opposite effect will be there in the funds flow statement. Then goodwill, 60,000 opening, closing 47,000. What is the assumption? Some amount has been written off. Intangibles written off, depreciation, etc. non-fund items. Why it is non-fund? We have covered it in introduction, first part. In the second part also we have covered it. So goodwill written off is there. How much? 13,000. So 13,000 will be debited in the adjusted P&L account. Then land and buildings, 1,75,000. Land and buildings has been reduced. So see whether any additional information is there. A piece of land has been sold out and the balance has been revalued. Profit on such a sale and revaluation being transferred to capital reserve. So in this case, what we have to do? Land and buildings account should be prepared. Plant and machinery account also should be, some purchases may be there. Trade investments, non-current item. Stock, sundry debtors, cash at bank, cash in hand. Current assets taken directly to the schedule of changes in working capital. Here current liabilities What are all the current liabilities we are taking? Sundry creditors, bills payable, provision for taxation, proposed dividend. Any information is there regarding provision for taxation? Nothing is there. So in this case we can give any assumption. We can take proposed dividend as a non-current item and provision for taxation treated as a current liability or non-current liability. Then we have to prepare a schedule of changes in working capital. If it is taking into schedule of changes in working capital, then nothing to be done in funds flow statement or while preparing adjusted P&L. Okay, we can prepare the schedule of changes in working capital first and then come to the non-current items directly. So you prepare schedule of changes in working capital in the usual format. So now we will take the difference in non-current as well as current items in a particular format. So equity capital is non-current. So non-current column we will write the difference. The non-current item difference and current item difference will be exactly equals. So equity capital 2,50,000 increased by 1 lakh. When liability increases, credit. 7% preference shares 1,50,000, 1 lakh. Liability decreases, debit. 20,000, 30,000 increases, credit. Capital reserve, opening nil, closing 25,000 increases, credit. Then P&L account increases, credit. Sundry creditors treated as current, always current. Sundry creditors, bills payable treated as current. So 27,000. Bills payable treated as current. Bills payable decreases. When a current liability decreases, debited. Or when a current liability decreases, it increases working capital. Both are same. Provision for taxation treated as current year. If you are not treating as current year, non-current, then it will come here. In both cases, 4,000 will be the difference. Proposed dividend 27,000, 33,000. We are treating here as current item. So current liability increases, working capital decreases. Or when a current liability increases, credited. Both are same. Okay, so liability side is over. Then asset side. Goodwill 60,000 opening, closing 47,000. It is a non-current item. All the fixed assets are non-current. So the difference 13,000 credited. Why it is credited? When asset decreases, always credit. 13,000. The land and building 1 lakh. Closing 25,000. Asset decreases, credit. Plant and machinery 90,000, 1,91,000. Asset increases, debit. Trade investments treated as non-current, increase. Stock, these are current items. Treated like a schedule of changes in working capital. Current assets beginning 85,000, closing 78,000, and this is decrease, and this is increase. So when current asset decreases, it reduces working capital. Or when a current asset decreases, the current asset is credited, both are same. Sundry debtors, 60,000, 90,000. Current asset increases working capital. Or when asset increases, debited, both are same. Bill receivable, 15,000, 18,000. 3,000, debit, increase. Cash at bank, increase. Cash in hand, reducing. Working capital, reducing. So we will tally this, both current and non-current items. Exact difference will come, 6,000. So increase in working capital is 51,000. And decrease, how much it will come? 45,000. So working capital has been increased by 6,000 rupees, and it is termed as increase in working capital. Increase in working capital. How much it is? 6,000 rupees. Then, so schedule of changes in working capital is over. So now we need to prepare necessary ledger accounts, fixed asset account, or share capital account, etc., etc. Land and buildings account. We need to prepare land and buildings account. What is the additional information given? In 2001, 18,000 depreciation has been written off on plant and machinery, and no depreciation has been charged on land and buildings. Then one another information is there. So depreciation is not there in the land and buildings account, but it has been decreased. A piece of land has been sold out. That is why it is decreased. A piece of land has been sold out and balance has been revalued. Profit on such a sale and revaluation being transferred to capital reserve account. So we need to check out capital reserve account. Capital reserve account is how much? 25,000 closing. Opening nil. So what is the assumption? Capital reserve has been increased during the year, and it increased due to sale and revaluation of land and buildings. And no depreciation is there in the land and buildings account. So we need to prepare land and buildings account. And this land and buildings has been sold out, and there is a profit on revaluation also, and profit on sale also. So we need to prepare the land and buildings account and see. So land and buildings account, opening balance 1 lakh, closing balance 75,000. What is the information? Land and buildings has been sold and revalued also. The profit on sale as well as revaluation has been credited to capital reserve account. What is the closing balance of capital reserve account? 25,000. It includes profit on revaluation as well as profit on sale. What is the entry for revaluation of fixed assets? Fixed asset account data. Here land and buildings. Land and buildings account debtor to capital reserve account. Correct? Here profit on sale and profit on revaluation has been transferred or credited to capital reserve account. Capital reserve account in the beginning is nil and the closing is 25,000. So this 25,000 includes profit on sale of land as well as capital reserve account. Revaluation entry is land, fixed asset account debtor to capital reserve. Here land. Land account debtor 25,000 to capital reserve account 25,000. Normally entry for bank account debtor to fixed asset account to profit or loss on sale of land. But here revaluation also there. The revaluation as well as the profit has been credited to capital reserve account. So debit would be 25,000. Land and buildings. Correct? So what is the entry? Land and buildings account debtor 25,000 to capital reserve account 25,000. We have to post this amount in the land and buildings account 25,000. Okay? Then balance this one. How much it will come? 1,25,000. 1,25,000. So this is 50,000 will be the difference. It is assumed as profit on, sale of land. So by bank, sale of land. And this is a source. And nothing to do with the calculation of funds from operation. This profit and loss on sale of fixed assets directly debited or credited to the capital reserve account or a general reserve account. Nothing to be adjusted while preparing funds from operation. Correct? Okay? So land and buildings account is over. Now take out plant and machinery account. Opening balance 90,000. To balance brought down. Closing balance by balance carried down or carry forward. 90,000, 1,91,000. That is clear. Then what is the adjustment? Depreciation is there. Additional information saying depreciation of 18,000 has been written off on plant and machinery. And no depreciation has been charged on land and buildings. So what is the entry for depreciation? There is no provision for depreciation account. So depreciation can be directly credited to fixed asset account. Depreciation account debtor to fixed asset account. Thereafter depreciation is transferred to profit and loss account. Profit and loss account debtor to depreciation account. So depreciation account is nullified. So fixed asset account credit with 18,000 rupees. Any other information is there? Yes. A plant was sold for 12,000 rupees whose written down value is how much? 15,000. Written down value means book value. The profit or loss on sale of fixed asset should be compared with the book value and the realized value. Here sale price is 12,000. Book value is 15,000. So there is a loss on sale of plant. Nothing is mentioned. What we have to assume? This loss has been debited to profit and loss account. What is the entry for this sale? There is no provision for depreciation account. If there is a provision for depreciation account, one asset disposal account we have to prepare. Asset disposal account. Depreciation is not credited to the fixed asset account. So what is the entry here? Plant is sold for 12,000 rupees. So bank debtor, how much? 12,000. Bank debtor 12,000. And there is a loss 3,000 rupees. It should be compared with the written down value or book value. Both are same. So loss on sale of plant. Loss on sale of plant debtor. How much? 3,000. To plant account. Plant account is reduced by 15,000. And this entry should be posted to the plant account. Opening balance and closing balance we have written. C. So we have to post this entry in the plant and machinery account. How to post? By bank. How much? 1,000. By loss on sale. By loss on sale. How much? Then this loss on sale will be transferred to profit and loss account. These are not rectification entries. So what is the entry for loss on sale? Transferred to P&L account. Profit and loss account debtor. How much? 3,000 to loss on sale 3,000. First entry, loss on sale 3,000 debtor to plant account. Second entry, at the end of the year, this 3,000 is transferred to profit and loss account. In the earlier case, it has been transferred to profit on revaluation of land, and the profit on sale of land has been credited to capital reserve account. Okay. So here profit and loss account debtor 3,000 to loss on sale 3,000. This loss on sale is cancelled. The net entry comes plant account 15,000 is included in the plant account. This is non-current. This also profit and loss account item also non-current. Both are non-current. To the extent of 3,000 rupees, both are non-current. It is a non-fund item. If both the aspects are non-current, then we will treat it as a non-current item. Only cross transactions are considered in the funds flow statement. And this loss 3,000 has been debited in the P&L account. So funds from operation is reduced by 3,000 rupees. So that should be added back to the operating profit or debited to the adjusted P&L account as the case may be. We are taking balance sheet item, profit and loss account. So adjusted P&L account, a debit should be given for 3,000 rupees. Then loss on sale 3,000. Any additional information? We will check it. So any additional information? Nothing is there. So plant sold, already taken. Then depreciation is credited. Then opening and closing balance is written. No other additional information. Close the ledger account and find out the difference. So higher side should be total. How much it will come? 30, 33, 34, 2,24,000. Correct? 2,24,000 is equal to this minus this 1,34,000. What is the assumption? 1,34,000 worth of plant has been purchased during the year. What is the entry for purchase of plant? It's not an exchange transaction. If it is an exchange transaction, that should have been mentioned as additional information. So assumed this has been paid through bank. So to bank purchase of plant. It is an application. 1,34,000 should appear on the application side of the funds flow statement. Purchase of plant 1,34,000. So plant is over, buildings account is over. Here one more information is there. This depreciation and loss on sale of plant are non-fund item or non-cash item. Both should be debited in the adjusted P&L account. It should be treated in adjusted P&L account. Adjusted profit and loss account. This also adjusted P&L. Debited. If there is a profit on sale, if it is included in profit and loss account balance, that should be deducted or credited to adjusted P&L account in order to find out funds from operation. Because the profit on sale is already included in the sale proceeds, sale of assets. The profit element is already included. Then next account. Trade investments. Not included in the schedule. So trade investments always assumed to as non-current while preparing funds flow statement. Valuation of goodwill, it is different treatment. So trade investments non-current. Ledger account has to be prepared. Any additional information? Yes. Dividend received amounting to rupees 2,100 includes pre-acquisition dividend rupees 600. Dividend received is an income. Since this item is treated as a non-current item, the dividend received should be treated as a separate source. Treated as a separate source. What is the entry for dividend received? Bank account debtor. Bank account debtor. How much? 2,100. To dividend received account normally. But here 2,100 dividend has been received. Out of this, pre-acquisition dividend is 600. What is the treatment of pre-acquisition dividend? When dividends are received out of investments, a distinction should be made between capital and a revenue portion. That we have studied in holding company accounts, investments account, etc. A distinction is made between capital and revenue. Pre-acquisition dividend should be credited to investment account. Correct? You know that. So out of this 2,100, 600 rupees is credited to investment account. Investment account 600. How much is the balance? To dividend received account. Balance into how much? 1,500. And this is the treatment for dividend received. If it includes pre-acquisition. Post-acquisition dividend is treated as a revenue profit. So that is credited to profit and loss account. And if there is any pre-acquisition dividend, that dividend is credited to investment account. Correct? So this 600 rupees should be posted in the investment account ledger, and dividend received only 1500 is transferred to P&L account, will be transferred to profit and loss account. What is the entry? Dividend received account debtor. So dividend received is cancelled to P&L account. So while calculating funds from operation, this dividend received should be deducted from profit or credited to adjusted P&L account. Both are same. And this is shown as a separate source. Okay. So we will post it in the investment account. So investment account, opening balance 10,000, closing balance 35,000, correct? Then pre-acquisition dividend, the entry posted 600 rupees by bank. Then the account should be balanced 35,600. 35,600. Difference on the debit side. What is the assumption? Investment has been purchased during the year. How much is the balance? 25,600. This is treated as to bank purchase of investment. It is shown as an application. Correct? And the post-acquisition portion is only credited to profit and loss account. That should be credited to adjusted P&L account. Okay? Then all the additional information we have considered. Okay? An interim dividend, an interim dividend 10,000 has been paid in 2001. Interim dividend should not be confused with the proposed dividend. Here proposed dividend and provision for taxation we are treated as current item. That is included in the schedule of changes in working capital. Like taxation, tax paid or provision made during the year can be debited or credited to the provision for taxation account. That cannot be done in respect of proposed dividend account. So interim dividend paid, what is the treatment? It should be debited in the adjusted profit and loss account, since we have started with the balance sheet figure. If we start with the operating profit in the above the line, then no need of adding it back. It is a below the line item. Interim dividend normally appearing in the trial balance. While preparing financial statements, interim dividend has only one effect, debited in the appropriation account. The same thing we have to do. What they have done, that has to be. That the balancing figure will be funds from operation. So interim dividend debited to adjusted P&L account and shown as an application. Shown as an application in the funds flow statement. So source is increased by 10,000 rupees and application also increased by 10,000 rupees. This treatment of pre-acquisition dividend is very important. We have already prepared schedule of changes in working capital. You prepare schedule of changes in working capital in the usual form. 6,000 is the increase in working capital. The same difference will be there in the funds flow statement. Then we need to prepare funds from operation. So we start with the profit and loss account. 18,000 by balance brought down. 27,000 to balance carried down. Correct? Then transfer to reserve. Increase in reserve. This is the amount transferred from profit and loss appropriation account to general reserve account. So 10,000 rupees debited to adjusted P&L account. If you are preparing the statement form, added to the increase in general reserve should be added to the increase in profit. So 10,000 rupees debited to adjusted P&L account. Provision for taxation and proposed dividend we are treated as current item. So nothing to be done. Then goodwill written off 13,000 debited to adjusted P&L account. Correct? You know that. Then depreciation will be there. Amount written off on intangibles and tangible fixed assets to be debited to adjusted P&L account. Since they have no impact on the working capital position, just a book entry. So goodwill written off debited. Then depreciation on plant and machinery 18,000. And there is a loss on sale of plant. Non-operating and non-fund items. Loss on sale, profit on sale, etc. non-fund items. Correct? So that should be adjusted. So loss on sale of plant to be debited to adjusted P&L. Then next is trade investments. These are non-current items. So dividend is received. Also one purchase is there. This dividend received is should be treated as a separate source. The purchase of investment to be shown as an application, and dividend received should be shown as a source. How much is the dividend received? 2,100 was the dividend. Correct? Out of that 600 is pre-acquisition. So we made a distinction between revenue and capital. 600 is credited to investment account and the balancing figure treated as purchase of investments. Correct? Here dividend received total 2,100, 600 pre-acquisition, only 1,500 is credited to P&L account. That is the treatment while doing accounts. So here funds from operation, opening balance 18,000, 27 closing balance. Depreciation on plant is 18,000. Transfer to reserve 10,000. Correct? Goodwill written off 13,000. Loss on sale of plant 3,000. This is a non-fund item. And interim dividend is there 10,000 rupees. Correct? Then next dividend received on investment, only 1,500 is credited to profit and loss account. So only 1,500 is to be deducted from here. 2,100 is the total source. In the funds flow statement, you have to show 2,100 rupees. And the balancing figure is funds from operation. This is the balancing figure. Okay, then we will prepare a funds flow statement. So funds flow statement, the main source is funds from operation. Here one issue of equity shares is there, 1 lakh rupees. Redemption of preference shares, 50,000, shown as an application, correct? Simple things. General reserve, etc. we have already taken. The next, goodwill written off we have taken. Land and buildings, there is a sale. How much was the sale? Balancing figure we have calculated, 50,000. Plant and machinery, there is a purchase, application. And sale also there. Source is also there. How much was that? A plant was sold for 12,000 rupees. 12,000 rupees should be shown as a source. 12,000 is a source, and some amount we have calculated in plant and machinery account. Balancing figure, 1,34,000 something. So that should be treated as an application, purchase of plant. Correct? Investments. Some balancing figure is there. 600 is credited The remaining figure will be treated as purchase of plant. Then these are all current items. And interim dividend is shown as an application. Dividend received 2100 is a source. Out of this, 600 is pre-acquisition. We treated 600 credited to investment account and 1500 is only credited to profit and loss account. That we have deducted from or credited to adjusted P&L. Then we make the funds flow statement. Funds flow statement of so and so company for the year ended so and so. Sources, applications. Amount rupees, like that you have to write. Funds from operations 61,500. We calculated that. Issue of equity shares 1 lakh. Correct. Dividend received 2100. Here there is no distinction. Bank debtor 2100. So total receipt is 2100. And out of this 600 we credited to investment account and 1500 is only credited to profit and loss account. And it is treated as a separate source. So dividend received 2100 is shown as a source. Sale of plant 12,000. Sale of land 50,000. Here profit on sale of land is not to be adjusted while preparing adjusted P&L account. Why? This profit is not credited to profit and loss account. This profit is credited to capital reserve account. Then purchase of investments 25,600. We got the balancing figure. Interim dividend is given as an additional information. This 10,000 is shown as an application and as well as funds from operation is increased by 10,000. So tallied. Purchase of plant 1,34,000. Redemption of preference shares 50,000. So the balance treated as increase in working capital. Our increase in working capital was 6,000 rupees. We prepared a schedule. You prepare a schedule of changes in working capital in the usual format. So 600 rupees. Fine. Okay. So we will go to the next problem. So one is over. So what are the assumptions given in this answer? Provision for taxation and proposed dividends treated as current items. That should be mentioned. Another assumption is dividend. Dividend on preference shares. Proposed dividend says no differentiation is made between proposed dividend of equity and preference. Assumed this proposed dividend includes both equity and preference. That assumption is the right assumption. And here 1,50,000 opening, closing 50,000. 50,000 preference shares has been redeemed. That means that dividend also given. Here this redemption may be carried out in the beginning of the year or end of the year. Both assumptions we can give. Anyway, that dividend we have not considered. That assumption also may be given in the answer. So these are all the things. So interim dividend always treated as a standalone item. Should not be confused with the proposed dividend. So next, one more solution.